Interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony David Montgomery will return for the Lions next week. Are you good at recovering from injuries?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. I've had a fungal infection on my right big toe since 1978, so I don't think I am.
That's a while.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a lot of decades.
Hurts your 40-yard time. Really does.
Oh, yeah. I'm around 8, 9, 10. I mean, I'm nowhere near fast. Maybe 12. I'm not sure. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Justin Verlander joins the Giants. Simulator golf debuts, and Kendrick Perkins joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with tonight's NBA game in Cleveland, where the 30-5 Oklahoma City Thunder will play the 31-4 Cleveland Cavaliers. The Thunder have won 15 games in a row, and the Cavs have won 10 in a row. This is among the greatest regular season matchups in NBA history, considering combined winning percentage this late in the season. Wilbon, I am sure you will watch this game. What are you looking for?
Tony, there's really one thing I'm looking for, and this will be eye test stuff. No analytics are going to help me figure this out if it can be figured out this early. But what I'm looking for is either one of these teams a serious threat to the Celtics, to the champs, or are both of them serious threats to the champs? And I know we're not going to get the answers to that stuff until, May and June, maybe a conference finals matchup with Cleveland, maybe a finals matchup with OKC. I've been telling you since August, since the end of last season, that I think that OKC is the reason that the Celtics are not going to repeat. Really, with no criticism of the Celtics, because I don't have any. There's none to have. I just think the league is too good right now, and the league being too good is Cleveland and Oklahoma City, or vice versa. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, to me, is the leader. I don't care about anybody else's stat line or what their lead in the league is. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, young Canadian stud star, he's the MVP of this league. And people ought to watch him if they get a chance. He's a great player. He's stylish. He's expressive. He's engaging. He's everything you want in a star. If you can take your eyes, if you can divert them from Steph and LeBron just for a second, there's a star out there with a cast that's great. I just want to see them play each other.
Yeah, so this reminds me of something that we were talking about last week when Oklahoma City beat the Knicks and beat the Celtics. And I said that these kinds of games really don't mean anything in January except to the team that wins. Because the team that wins a game like that, 2 weeks later when they can't shoot at all and they lose by 25, they take that game out of their pocket and they look at it and they remind themselves that they are a good team. I am intrigued by this game tonight for this particular reason. Neither of these teams, neither Oklahoma City nor Cleveland, has accomplished anything yet as constituted. They have not gotten to the NBA Finals as constituted. So they are still striving for something. This is not like Boston. It's not like Denver, which have rings and have rings recently. These two teams, Oklahoma City and Cleveland, are still in the prove-it stage. And they don't have a star who's generally known to the public at all. If you took a picture of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and held it next to a picture of Steph Curry, 100 people in a row would say, who's that guy? Because they would understand who Steph Curry is. Now, I hope it's a good game. You have the best defensive-rated team in the league, Oklahoma City, and the best offensive-rated team in the league, Cleveland. I hope it's good. I hope it's not one of those games where it's 25 points for 3 quarters. I hope it's not like Tennessee and Florida last night, which was a slaughter from the top and made it very easy for you to watch Duke and Pitt. Let's move to baseball. The San Francisco Giants have signed Justin Verlander to a 1-year deal worth $15 million. That is not particularly pricey for a starting pitcher in today's market. Verlander made 17 starts for Houston last year, posting a 5.48 ERA. That ERA was 8.10 in Verlander's final 7 starts. Verlander will be 42 years old next month. Wilbon, does this seem closer to a good deal for the Giants or a risk?
There's no risk. There's none. There's no risk. $15 million for a team competing in Major League Baseball, the NFL, or the NBA is nothing. It's pocket change. That's all it is. So you got Justin Verlander, a first ballot Hall of Famer. And if he can summon it, you've got a great deal. If he can't, you wave by and say, we gave it a shot. We
Yeah.
tried it. Who wouldn't want to try Justin Verlander? I'd want him on my team in the blue pinstripes right now. So at that price, if you're telling me you get somebody who is the active leader in everything that counts, among a guy who can walk out and take the ball on the mound, on the rubber, then I'm taking that 100 times out of 100. Not only is it no risk, it's a no-brainer. That's it for me.
Yeah, no disagreement whatsoever. Verlander, I think, was 5-6 or 5-7 last year with Houston with that terrible ERA. But the year before, with the Mets and with Houston, his ERA was 3.22. I think he was 13-7 or 13-8, and he had 27 starts. And the year before that, he won a Cy Young.
Cy Young, at 40 or 39.
So last year he had arm problems, shoulder problems, some other sort of problems, neck problems, something like that. Maybe that was the outlier, Mike. Maybe he returns to form, but he's also going to be 42 years old next month. As great as he is and was, 42 years old. So it's kind of sort of reminds me of Aaron Rodgers a little bit. So I'm not necessarily all in, although I love Verlander. I root for him. He's a fabulous PTI guest. I mean, he's always been great for us. He has 3 Cys. So does Scherzer. So does Kershaw. They all have World Series rings. They're all going first ballot to the Hall of Fame. The difference is, as you pointed out, is Verlander's got the most wins of any active pitcher. I think it's 262. He has talked about wanting 300, so maybe that's why he's still in the league. I agree with you. There's no risk involved. There's no risk. The only thing I wonder about, Mike, I wonder about this. Why do you go to that division where the Dodgers are the World Series champs, the Padres are in the playoffs, the Diamondbacks were in the World Series 2 years ago, and we're 89 and 73 last year?
Pitcher's Ballpark, Tony. And it's San Francisco. And it's the most beautiful ballpark in the world that isn't Wrigley Field or Fenway. And just Wrigley, Fenway, and whatever they're calling the one in San Francisco. That's the order for me anyway. Let's move to golf, or some form of golf anyway. The new TGL, Tomorrow's Golf League, teed off last night with the Bay Golf Club beating the New York Golf Club in a match that lasted just under 2 hours. Tiger and Rory are the big names behind the league, but neither played on opening night. Tony, you and I love real golf. Does last night's debut make you more bullish than you expected to be on the TGL?
So honestly, I had no expectations. I had none. I wanted to see it because it was indoor golf. I'd never seen anything quite like this before. I stayed up past 9 o'clock. I watched the first 2 holes. I can't tell you that I love it, Mike, and I can't tell you that I completely understand it. I'm not interested down the road. It's going to last a couple of months. I'm not interested in the team that wins. I'm not interested in the team that wins the Emirates Cup either. I don't care about that. And I'm not crazy about hitting into a large screen. But I'll tell you what I really did like. The pace of play was wonderful. They did 15 holes in 2 hours. I love the shot clock, just like I love the pitch clock in baseball. The PGA Tour should adopt the shot clock, all right? Don't let these people throw the grass in the air for 25 minutes. Make them hit the ball. The other thing I loved was you could reconfigure the green anytime you wanted to. I loved watching the tectonic plates go up and down. I really did like that. I don't know if it can be a hit, Mike, because it depends on this one thing I'm going to say. The engagement of the players with each other and with the fans. This is a television show. That's what it is. And you can only sell it by yakking, by making it enjoyable and loud and fun for people.
I had 2 problems with it, which are problems for me, big problems, that may prevent me from watching further. Something's got to be at stake, and there's nothing at stake. There's nothing. And the other thing is, the attraction to golf for me is largely physical. It's aesthetic. You know when you're at Augusta National or watching it. You know when you're at the old course at St. Andrews or watching it. You know when you're at Pebble Beach or watching it. A lot of us have been to a lot of these places. And you are there, and it's overwhelming. It consumes you, the physical nature of that place. And God knows if you get weather, this has none of that. And so if you
No,
don't
this
have
is not
anything at
that.
stake, and I don't know where you
Okay.
are, and it doesn't matter
It's a
where you are,
television
there's
show.
15.
That's
that
a television
doesn't
show.
do it for me.
They want to give golf fans something that gets them through the winter. It's a television show.
Yeah.
Look, all of these people are on teams. I guarantee you, none of these golfers know what teams they're on or how they got there. They don't know that. But if you can broaden it out, if you can let people behind the curtain and the golfers talk, if they talk, and I was disappointed Tiger didn't play. I was hoping he'd play. Let's take a break. Coming up, we will ask Kendrick Perkins whether he's been more impressed by the Thunder or the Cavs this season.
We'll also ask him about that terrible loss the Lakers had to the Mavs last night. I say terrible.
Put in the shot clock, though, Mike. The shot clock was great.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
Tony.
Yeah.
I watched like an hour and a half of that last night. I watched a lot of it.
Oh, it's more than I did.
I'm not saying I'm never going to watch again. I'm just saying every week.
Let's get back into the NBA with our great friend from NBA Today, Mr. Kendrick Perkins. We're going to start with the big game tonight. That's Oklahoma City at Cleveland. Looking at the course of the year to this point, who have you been more impressed with? Which team?
Who is hard to choose, Tony. I mean, the Cavs, look, they've been doing their thing. Evan Mobley has done an exceptional job offensively this year, but I got to go with Oklahoma City. Look, I 2 weeks ago I said that I got Oklahoma City going to the NBA Finals. I'm ready to jump off the porch and say that they actually could win the championship with this team that they have, led by SGA, who should be the front runner for MVP. I mean, they check all boxes. If you need a Robin, they have that in Jalen Williams. And their depth, right? Think about the offseason additions that they went out and got. They went and got Isaiah Hartenstein, who's averaging about 11 points and 12 rebounds. And then they went and got Alex Caruso. We haven't heard from Alex Caruso, but that goes to show you how deep they are, because a guy by the name of Wiggins has been coming in off the bench and giving you 20 and 15 and 16. You like, well, where the hell did he come from? We came from the eye test of Sam Presti. So they have the depth. Chet Holmgren will be back, and they have all the things that they need. And they're the clear-cut favorite in the West, but they definitely could go out there and win the championship, in my opinion.
Tony, this makes me feel good. When I'm on the same side as Perk, I'm strutting. And I told you this going back to August. Perk, you and I have talked about this. I want Jimmy Butler to be on the Suns, but Wendy is beating us both down and told us that is so unlikely to happen. All right, then where does Jimmy Butler make sense as a fit, if it's even possible to be traded there?
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing. I feel like he needs to be in Phoenix, right? KD won him. He wants to be there. Right? Think about it. If Jimmy does get traded to Phoenix, both guys are signing contract extensions immediately. Phoenix is going to pay KD and Jimmy Butler. And here's the thing. Jimmy Butler brings the Phoenix Suns something that they don't have. Toughness. The Phoenix Suns right now, they're softer than funeral home music. Let's be real. That's what they're missing. A guy that's going to get in somebody's face, a guy that's going to ruffle some feathers, a guy that's going to be an instigator, not a retaliator. Think about it. All the greats then had a wild card, a guy that's a dog. Jordan had one in Dennis Rodman. LeBron James then had several. Kevin Durant had Draymond Green when he was winning championships in Golden State. He needs a Jimmy Butler. I think Phoenix is the perfect fit for him.
Man, I like hearing that too. All right. As much as Tony and I sometimes, Perk, get tired of talking about the Lakers, we get Laker fatigue. But we're going to talk to you about them, which brings a fresh take on this. They got pounded by the Mavericks last night, who didn't even have Luka and Kyrie. What did you see in that game, and did that result say anything beyond one game?
I mean, it's the same thing I've been preaching since the beginning of training camp. Look, everybody was, they got Finney-Smith. They're going to be this much better. I wasn't amused by that. I wasn't happy about that. That didn't move me. The reason being is that you need athleticism at the wing position. You need someone that could guard. Now, I know they banking on Jared Vanderbilt to come back, but we don't know how he's going to look. He had 2 ankle surgeries, right? I don't know what he's going to look like. In order to compete in this league and win at a high level, you have to be able to guard the perimeter. What I saw last night was I saw the Mavs pick on not only pick on the Lakers, but they also search Austin Reeves out on every single play down the floor and went straight isolation, and the Lakers couldn't stop.
We will get you out of here on this, and it's about Zion Williamson. He returned for the Pelicans last night. The Pelicans lose, as they almost always lose, and Zion won't play tonight in a back-to-back. But when you looked at him last night, what did you see?
I mean, he looked good. He looked in phenomenal shape. He's a con artist. Zion know exactly what he's doing. He's a damn con artist. I'm going to come back a month or two, a month and a half, right before the trade deadline. I'm going to show up and show why they shouldn't trade me, and I'm going to be here. And then right after the trade deadline, guess what? We're going to hear about Zion being injured again.
That was
He's been injured.
It doesn't get it.
He has been injured every year. He gets hurt all the time.
He does.
Thank you, Perk. Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
Let's take one last break. Still to come. The Cowboys deny the Bears permission to talk to Mike McCarthy. Does that mean that they are keeping him?
No, that's too simple a take, Tone. Top-ranked Tennessee got smacked by Florida in Gainesville as predicted here yesterday. Florida should win that game, and they did.
Are you as down on Zion Williamson as Kendrick is?
Close. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but sorry, I can't disagree with Perk. I have no disagreements with Perk at all today. And I want to say...
Happy time, people. Happy 54th birthday, Jason Giambi. Giambi was the American League MVP in 2000 when he played for Oakland. That season, Giambi hit .333 with 43 homers and 137 RBI. Those are terrific numbers, and yet Giambi did not lead the AL in any of those categories. Nomar Garciaparra hit .372. Troy Glaus hit 47 home runs. Edgar Martinez had 145 RBI. Giambi played 20 years in the majors for the A's, the Yankees, the Rockies, and Cleveland. He's a 5-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger. He had 440 home runs. In 2007, when Giambi was with the Yankees, he acknowledged past use of performance-enhancing drugs and apologized, and felt others should apologize as well.
Good for him. But, Tony, I listened to those numbers, and even though he played for the Yankees, and you know you're going to know everything a Yankee does, this guy was the personification of the word slugger. His numbers are far greater than I would have attributed to Jason Giambi. Are you kidding me?
Happy anniversary, Tim Tebow. This is a doubly memorable day for the former Heisman winner. On this day 16 years ago, Tebow led the Florida Gators to their second national championship in 3 seasons as Florida beat Oklahoma and fellow Heisman winner Sam Bradford. 3 years later, playing for Denver in a wild-card weekend thriller, Tebow connected with Demaryius Thomas on the first play of overtime for an 80-yard touchdown to beat the Steelers, the fastest overtime game in NFL history. Tebow never had the success in the NFL that he had in college, but he remains irrepressibly optimistic when he talks about football on TV. He is an inherently likable fellow, Mike.
Tony, I'm going to tell you this. I was skeptical. You'd hear all this stuff about Tebow from people on television every week, and you say, seriously, stop. He can't be that. And then I spent at the ESPYs one year in LA. I wound up sitting with Tebow for about an hour. And I walked away and just thought, on the short list of nicest people in the world, Tim Tebow is way up there, way up near the top.
That's nice.
He is.
Happy trails to the Bears interviewing Mike McCarthy. Jerry Jones denied the Bears' request to talk to McCarthy about their open head coaching role, at least for now. McCarthy's contract with the Cowboys expires today, but the team has a 1-week exclusive negotiating window. The Dallas Morning News reports that this decision gives Jones and McCarthy a chance to talk and gauge what the other is thinking. In the meantime, the Bears will interview Pete Carroll tomorrow. Well, you said yesterday the Bears are interviewing candidates to acquire intelligence. But Carroll is that rare coach who's won a title in college and a Super Bowl. He's not just some guy. How do you feel about him?
Anybody interviewing coaches is trying to look at intel. Anybody, not just the Bears. But yes, I want McCarthy to be interviewed, and I want Pete Carroll to be interviewed. Yes, take your time, get this right. That's the only task for the Bears after 4 failed head coaching hires in the aftermath of Lovie Smith. Get it right, damn it. Interview these guys. Yes.
All right, let's go to the big finish. In men's college hoops, Florida stomped #1 Tennessee, and Georgia pounded 6th-ranked Kentucky. Your thoughts?
It's early. I'm not going to draw any conclusions. SEC teams are almost unbeatable at home. Let's see how it goes. We get to the real weeks of college basketball. The Niners removed Nick Sorensen as their defensive coordinator. Does that make sense?
They had a terrible year. A lot of it was injuries, but their defense was just run over. It's reported they'll bring back Robert Saleh. That makes sense. Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty is entering the NFL draft. Your expectations?
He'll be picked in the top 10 in the first round. I just hope somebody has the good sense to use him in the NFL. Somebody. The Bruins lost to the Oilers last night. Boston's 5th consecutive loss. Concerned.
Well, they've already fired one guy. How many are they going to go through? Last one, women's college hoops. #4 USC at #8 Maryland tonight. Who you got?
Don't sleep on the Terps, undefeated. I'm going to take Maryland at home. How about that?
Yeah, you should go to watch. You should go to the game if you can. We're out of time. We'll try to do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. You can get the podcast or the app on Apple Podcasts. Did you see I'm in Chicago? I can't get to College Park for tip-off. What?
Well, watch it on TV then. Watch it on TV.
We have PTI's bonus topic.
All right, Wilbon, which team has the better chance to make the NBA Finals, the Thunder or the Cavs?
The Thunder, Tony, because the Cavs have to go through the Boston Celtics. They got to go through the champs, most likely. I mean, if Boston's healthy at the end of the season, the Boston Celtics will be the team you favor in the Eastern Conference. And if you're going to have to try to beat the Knicks and Boston, I don't necessarily see that for Cleveland, which has a better record. The Thunder. Look, the Mavericks are going to be tough again when they get Kyrie and Luka back. They just are. They're built for this. They beat them in the playoffs last year. That's a real tough out. But Denver seems to be on the verge of wasting Joker's time. The Lakers and Clippers, you can't count on them. The Suns, who knows who's going to be on the team. They're going to have Jimmy Butler. If not, they might not even make the playoffs. So I think OKC, and they get Chet Holmgren back, they've got the best personnel, the greatest depth, and the biggest star in terms of MVP in SGA. So I'm going to OKC.
Yeah, I have a spiritual objection to doing this story in January, talking about something that's going to happen in June when we have no idea who's going to get hurt and we have no idea who's going to be out. But I tend to agree with you, maybe for different reasons, though. Maybe for different reasons. I mean, if you look at the teams that are very disappointing at the present time, Minnesota is a disappointing team. Philadelphia is a train wreck of a team.
Totally.
Phoenix is a disappointing team at the moment. That's very disappointing. And let's be realistic. The Lakers and the Warriors are really not contenders. Denver is a disappointing team at the moment. So it feels to me like Oklahoma City really only has to go through Dallas at the moment. On the other side, you got to go through Boston, Milwaukee, and the Knicks. And that's harder. I mean, for the first time in a long time, I sort of think that if the East isn't better than the West, there is at least as good as the West. So I'm going to come around to your way of thinking as well and say Oklahoma City.
Yeah. See how easy that was? So simple.
But I listened to you.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're done.
I didn't even know the names of the teams. Yeah.
Is that important?